Welcome back. Welcome back. Welcome back. Mic check, mic check. 1 2 1 2. Before we get started, let me get a thumbs up in the chat box if you can hear me. Let me get a thumbs up in the chat box if you can hear me. Move this over a little bit. Might be a little better. People in and waiting. We good. We good. We good. Let me make my screen bigger so I can see y'all comments. With these bad eyes I got. They're getting bad eyes. There we go. Now I can see the comments. Oh, I can just pop the chat out. Let me just pop the chat out. There we go. There we go. Now I can see everybody's. There we go. I forgot I could do that. So let's get started. Let's get started. First of all, how y'all doing on this great, and in my case, pretty Friday evening? It's beautiful outside. I'm probably gonna go out there and at least touch the grass for a minute and maybe walk around the block or something, just to be outside apart from being at work. So let's kind of unpack today. Today's been crazy. Today's been crazy. You saw the other video earlier, you know, just tired of it, but I ain't gonna even go into it or in the comment section with that back and forth in the comment section. If you haven't seen it, just go check it out for yourself and you make a decision on, who you think's right or wrong and whatnot. So, but let's talk about this right here. Let's talk about what happened. So, obviously, again, that video came out and I got a DM on Twitter from Kevin. Let's call him Kevin. Let's call him Kevin. I don't want to use his real name. He may not want me to use his real name, but let's call him Kevin. And so he was like, Coach, I saw your video, and I'm paraphrasing right now. I saw your video about let's talk about something else. And he sent me this sheet. And the sheet I'm going to show you. And the sheet refers to wide receiver usage. And and I'm gonna talk about the sheet for him. I'm gonna break it down for him. I'm gonna put it on the screen in a minute. And while looking at the sheet, I replied to him while, and when I got to where I could see it bigger, I started to kind of break it down and look at the numbers. And that's crazy. Crazy. Hold on a second. It's crazy that when you see it, you step back and be like, oh, okay. But again, appreciate you, Kevin, for submitting it and coming through and just saying, let's talk about something else, which is what we're gonna do today. So let me get my chat box back up there. All right. So here's what he sent me. And it talks about wide receiver usage. Wide receiver usage. Thank you, Julie. In 2019, which was the year, the MVP year, I think we were 14-2. Correct me if I'm wrong. I think we were 14-2. The highlighted boxes on the left side are what we're gonna kind of talk about a little bit, mainly completion and attempts. So the top box is what the Ravens did. The bottom box is what the opposing teams did for us, against us. And the thing is, this is not what other teams did in the NFL because this number probably would be higher. But this is just what other teams did versus us. And so we can have a comparison of what teams did versus us. These numbers probably would be at a bigger discrepancy if we did the numbers for the 31 other teams. But so we wouldn't have to pile on a bunch of stats on the screen. It's just what other teams did versus us. And so let's look at 2019. We had 289 completions, which is all right because we had 37 touchdowns. With that net 8.4% touchdown rate, that means a lot. That means a lot, with that limited number of passes. And against us, there were 318, which not a big difference, but you understandable. And look at the touchdown percentage against us, 2.8. So that year, really, the offense and the defense worked together, and we got a boatload of rushing yards that year. Let's call a spade a spade. We got a boatload of rushing yards that year, and that kind of skewed the numbers. But still, those 37 touchdowns, only 8 interceptions, that is great. That's that. If we could go back to that this year, I would love it. I would love it. 37 touchdowns, 8 interceptions. I take it all day, every season. We bounced to the 2020 season, which was the very next year. We won our first round playoff game, but then lost in the second round. So just look at it. We completed 257 passes as opposed to giving up 380. When you go over a season, that's a nice discrepancy. That's a nice discrepancy, meaning just we not using the passing game as much. We study trying to pound it, and I'm not saying pounding it don't work, but I'm just saying I think you need balance, which is kind of where we'll wrap this all up, in a second. I think you need balance. So move up to 2021, which I don't even think we made the playoffs. 2021. Let me see. 2019 was the MVP year. 20 and we lost in the first round. Well, the second round, the first playoff game. 2020, we played the Titans again, beat them, and lost to the Bills. 2021, like I said, I don't think we made the playoffs. Correct me if I'm wrong. But in 2021, the numbers are almost equal. But why is that? Because we was down so much. We were down in so many of them games where we had to just try to throw to get back in it. And look at the comparison. It's only one completion difference. Only 10 attempts different. Completion percentage almost the same. Yardage is about 700 off difference. 10 touchdowns difference. 2020 was that injury riddle season. And so since he's here, I'll go ahead and say it. Kevin just jumped up. Kevin is the one who submitted this. So I appreciate you, Kevin, for dropping this, to me and giving me something else to kind of chit chat about and really opening my eyes to the discrepancies of our passing game. Now, like I told him, all this can be attributed, in my opinion, to Greg Roman and the organizational. What's the word I'm looking for? The organizational philosophy. Run it, play defense. Run it, play defense. When this is the time the NFL is starting to evolve, because think about it. The hardest position to play football used to be quarterback. And playing quarterback is still hard. But now the hardest position is to play DB. Why is that? Because bump and run, like that has almost been taken away. Almost been taken away. You got superior athletes on the edge, sometimes flopping, getting past interference calls. You basically got to play defense, DB, which you got to have great feet. Anytime you even think about touching something, maybe even attempt to turn them, it's a flag. The rules have changed for people to score more points because more points is what people want to see. And they want butts in seats. So this thing still goes all the way back to making money. Now, y'all probably wondering how Proche get involved in this and whatnot. And yes, I like Proche, but I'm gonna tie it in. This is not a straight Homer Proche video, and I know a bunch of y'all probably still gonna bash me about it, but just hear me out. This is a hear me out video. So again, I appreciate you, Kevin, for submitting this. This is real eye opening, and you guys check it out, man. It's some interesting stuff on this sheet. But what the main thing that I do love about it is this 8.4 touchdown percentage in 2019. Dropped a little bit in 2020, dropped way down in 2021, which was the injury riddle season. But look how many more passes we threw. Because we were down. Now, let's move on to this. I'm finna tie Proche in with it. So this is Proche's NFL stats. 3 seasons. 2020, he had, matter of fact, I'll tell you, in 2020, Proche got in on 3 plays. They were all empty, and he all ran whip routes. The first time he ran a whip route, they didn't look his way. Second time they ran it, he got a catch, and it was against Pittsburgh. Third time they ran it was against Pittsburgh. The second game, they was waiting on it because he didn't play other than those whatchamacallits, and they jumped it. I can't remember if they picked 60, but they did get a pick. I can't remember if they housed it, but they did get a pick. So that was his rookie season, just like that. Next year, 16 catches, 20 yards. Late in that season, he had a game of about 6 or 7 catches for about 80 some odd yards, and he looked like he would have been on his way to stepping up and being a contributor to the team. He got the spin that game because Ricard was out. And so I'm like, okay, now Proche he proved that he could be a good part of the offense. He can help in some kind of way. He can contribute. Ricard comes back. He don't play the rest of the season. He inactive the rest of the season. I think it was maybe 2 or 3 games left. So then last year, I personally think he was in press mode. He realizing my clock is winding down. I have to make the most out of every opportunity. And the way our offense was structured, and I'm finna get off topic a little bit, but the way our offense was structured offensively, you had to make the most of every opportunity. That's why every little thing that other teams don't complain about, we do. Drop balls. We complain about them because who knows you're gonna get another opportunity. Missing open receivers. We complain about them because who knows when you're gonna throw the ball again to even get an opportunity to miss receivers. Dropping pads, running the wrong routes. Who knows when you're gonna be out there again to run the right route. We have so few passing opportunities that the mistakes are magnified twofold, maybe even tenfold. I'm gonna say they all magnified tenfold because you have a limited number of reps. So then you get into the point where you press. You start pressing, and then you kind of do stuff that's out of character or not aligned with what you're taught to do, or what your technique is, or what your coaching is, because you feel like I gotta make a play, or I might be out of here. And that's where I think Proche is or was last year, because obviously he had what? He had 8 catches with 16 targets, but he had probably 7 penalties. I probably should put his drop rate up here too. I didn't put that up here. He had 7 penalties. He had a bunch of drop balls. He had a 50-50 chance at catching the ball on a Hail Mary that probably would have won us a game. So last year was really tough for Proche. Really. It was to the point where he really couldn't get out of his own way. He couldn't get out of his own way. He was he was a Three Stooges all by himself. He was Mo, Larry, and Curly all by himself last year. So, and with me being a fan of his, that's hard for me to say, but it's true. It's true. He was bad. He was bad. But let me push it over a little bit. Take it back to SMU. As a senior, 101 catches. As a junior, 93 catches. As a sophomore, I think that's 40 catches. And then as a freshman, 59. Yards, 2,000 yards. Well, 1,000 yards each of his last 2 seasons. 800 his junior year. Hell, 721 as a freshman. 14 TDs as a senior. 12 TDs as a junior. You don't forget how to catch the ball. Catch the ball. You don't forget how to catch the ball. Look at the targets his junior and senior year. 147 and 143. You just don't go out there and like, oh man, I can't catch this ball no more. I do want Proche on the team. Rave Kingdom, I do. Do I think he's gonna make it? No. Because if we bring somebody else in, that might seal his fate. Do I think he's gonna make it? No. But I do want him on the team, and I'm just giving another opinion because so many people have already closed him off. But I think him in a system that is balanced, and I don't necessarily mean balanced by equal run, equal pass, where different people get to touch the ball. The ball distribution is balanced. That's what I mean. The ball distribution is balanced. In a system like that, I'm not going to say he can thrive. I'm not going to say he'll be a superstar, but I think he can be functional. He can be productive. He can be serviceable. I never claimed that he could be a superstar, but I think he's at a point in his career where this is it for him. Like he needs to either do something productive, or he probably won't get another chance. Probably he has to show some glimmer of hope, or he just won't get another chance. Let me take this off. So am I straight up a homer for Proche? A little bit. I like the dude. I like him. I like him. He, like I said, you just don't forget how to catch the ball. At SMU, he did, and I'll compare him to Duvernay again. Him and Duvernay had the highest catch percentage when they were in college. Both of them had a ton of catches, a ton of yards. Duvernay's yard tree probably looks like Jalen Hyatt, and well, not kind of like Jalen Hyatt, but it was limited like Hyatt. Duvernay ran bubbles. He got a bunch of pass catches on the jet sweep that you pop the ball up, you catch it and pop it up because that's considered a pass. He got catches like that. He did take slants to the house. The list on gun is fast, but Proche ran routes. Like right here, you see the slot fade when he jumped over dude. Proche ran digs. Proche ran the whole route tree and got his catches like that and had just as well of a catch percentage as Duvernay. So I'm just really throwing it out there that yeah, it is fast. Proche run routes though. He just he just can't get out his way. And I really just want to throw it out there because I think that in a decent, in an average NFL system, because ours wasn't average. Let's keep it real. Ours wasn't average. We threw when we had to. We didn't throw. We didn't dictate to other teams. We didn't dictate to other teams. We threw when we had to, not to ease the run game or to help make it easy for the run game. But you get them in a system where everybody's an option and everybody can get the ball and the quarterback can go wherever he wants, and it don't have to be tight end or fullback. I think he could thrive. And then even so, in this system, you think about with Odell, with Bateman, he'll be a forgotten guy. So he can get you 3-4 catches a game. And I think that's his ceiling anyway. I'm not saying he's gonna get you 8-9 catches. I think 3-4 catches a game is his ceiling. I'm say 3 catches a game is his ceiling. 3 catches, 30 yards. If he break a tackle or something, so be it. Because the son gonna gives you effort in the run game. He gives you maximum effort in the run game. That's why he got so many darn holding calls. But that's where I am with Proche, and I ain't gonna speak on him too much. But this is just something to kind of, and I know a lot of y'all gonna bash me. I know you're gonna bash me. I know what I signed up for. I do. I know what I signed up for. But I just want y'all to have an open mind. And by glancing at the chat box, it seems like you guys do have an open mind about it. But I understand this league's about production, and he has not produced. This league is about production, and he has not produced. I'm personally a fan of him, and when Kevin, put this information to me, sent this information to me, the first dude that popped in my mind was Proche. The very first dude that popped in my mind was Proche. Duvernay probably could benefit from this too. He probably could. I take a few questions while it's playing. Julian says, see if I can put it up there. Let me get it up there. Hold on one second. Julian says, there it is. Coach, do you think Proche's comp is Cole Beasley? Any of them slot guys that worked that area like that. I'm laughing at MDT. I'll put that up in a minute. Any of those guys that worked the middle like that. Proche, Beasley. What's the kid in Oakland that I really like? Came from Clemson. But Beasley, what is that dude's name in Oakland? Who calling me? Oh, that man calling me. I'm on live, man. You can't call me when I'm live. Shoot. I had that phone call. Renfro. Thank you, Julian. Renfro, Edelman. He could be that type of player. Not saying he could put up their numbers. Again, he can be a great value of those guys. He can be the Walmart version of those guys. Again, 3 to 4 catches, max. The game he got 6 catches, I was like, whoa. Like that game may be his career stat. That game. So a few more questions, throw them in there and I'll take them real quick. Let's see. Did I see? And see, MDT came with the jokes. He said, Coach Proche should give you $1 million because you really believe in it. But hey, convince him to do that. I damn sure take it. I will sure take it. 100,000, I take it. But again, I appreciate you guys for coming through. I'm trying to scroll through here and see if I see any questions, and then I'm gonna let y'all go enjoy y'all Friday, man. I just wanted to get this out, and again, Jimmy Dean says, "Is Proche a starter if he hits the ceiling?" Jimmy, I think he's a situational guy. I think he if you go 4 wide, you can bring him in. If you go 11 personnel, he could be the slot guy opposite the tight end. Or if they do trips with the tight end too, he could be that number 2 guy to run the whip route. He can run you a quick slant. He can run your mesh stuff. I don't think you have to run him way down the field. I think the what quote unquote real routes should be reserved for Odell, Bateman, Andrews, likely, and Aguilar. Those real like the curls, the post corners, the all that stuff on down the field. I think Proche can work in a 8 to lower level. I think he'll excel in that. But we'll see. We'll see. I'm gonna take one more question that I can find. I see you, Hendo, trying to hate. And again, this is who submitted it, and I appreciate it. He watched the video, from earlier today and submitted it, and appreciate you, Kevin, for dropping it, because it was interesting. Those numbers were interesting to see. Let's see. One more question. Pay the Bills got one. He says, where's the Pay the Bills question? Oh, there you go. Do you think Monken will recognize this and feed the third and fourth option on game day? I think Monken, the key word to Monken is adaptability. Like, Monken will do whatever it takes to have an effective offense. Monken has been in every kind of system. He's ran straight up, like no huddle spread, no huddle at Oklahoma State. He ran the pro style with Cleveland when he had Chubb and Kareem Hunt. He ran a tight end heavy, run heavy, play action heavy offense at Georgia. He's done a lot, man. He was at LSU for a while. That's why I met him at LSU, and I was able to sit in the room for him for about an hour and talk ball. He's adaptable, man. He's the modern guy. You need to be able to base your stuff off the personnel. And I think he's the guy that can come in and do that. That third and fourth guy, honestly, thinking about the roster, that third and fourth guy is probably Aguilar and likely the third and fourth guy. So Proche still don't even fit that. Proche would be a strictly situational guy. He'd probably be behind Duvernay. Proche would probably be the sixth guy if he makes the team. I'm just throwing, because I like Proche. I'm just giving you something to think about, other than just bash. I'm gonna hit Devin's question and I'm gonna roll. With the running back room the way it is now, I just believe J.K., Justice, Gus, and coming off an injury. Do you think we draft a running back? I think it's for what we do and for the guys that we got drafting for us. If Bijan is there at 22, I wouldn't put it past him. Based off the guys that we got drafting for us and the history of their philosophy, even with Monkey. If Bijan is sitting there at 22, I would not be surprised if his name is called. Even though I think wide receiver and DB and maybe an interior O lineman is probably a more pressing need. If Bijan is sitting there at 22, don't be surprised if his name is called. I'm going to expect the unexpected next Thursday and next Friday. I'm going to expect the zigging and the zagging to happen. You should be expecting it also. Because one thing we do know, and this is a fact, this is a proven fact, the Costa love picks. And my dog may be gone. My other dog, Queen may be gone. I hope not. But he may be in that the frenzy of what is draft weekend. But we'll see. And so hey, I appreciate y'all for coming through again. I appreciate Kevin for dropping that to me on Twitter and opening my eyes to the wide receiver usage or lack thereof. Just thank y'all, man. Hey, everybody that came into that the comment section from the video earlier today, when I just kind of went on that rant and had my back, I appreciate y'all, man. I appreciate it. And I'm gonna say this and I'm gonna be done with it. Let me get this off. I'm gonna say this and I'm gonna be done with it. Do I dislike Lamar? No, indeed. Why would I buy the man jersey if I dislike him? I think he's the best player in the league. I'm that much of a fan of his. But as far as my channel goes, my channel is mostly a film channel. And if he does something that I think is wrong, or I think he could do better or whatnot, it's my opinion to say he messed that up or he did that wrong, or I feel like he could do this better. Like, and I'll tell you the main beef I have with him. Like, I think when he have his reads, he reads high to low. When I feel like he should read low to high. Now he could have been told or coached to read high to low. I don't know that. I'm just giving my opinion based off what I've done, throughout my career and what I think will be better. I ain't in the coaching room. So all I can do is look at the film and assume that this and this and that should be done. And some of the stuff I assume is right because I've been in the trenches. Not on that level, but the trenches are the trenches when it comes to the football stuff. So do I dislike him? No. I want him to succeed. I want him to get his money, all that. But you won't hear me mention his contract. This is it. Until it's signed or something, or he's gone or whatever. It may be mentioned on some of my shows, but you won't hear shit come out my mouth. Now, we'll talk about his play. We'll talk about his play and his reads and working with guys and all that stuff. But his pockets ain't none of my damn business. So you won't hear me talk about his contract or none of that no more. Love y'all, man. Peace. I'm gonna hit the comment section for a minute. You right, Baltimore, Mike. Roman be like, nah, What time, Brandon? It's 7:30, right? Brandon going live at 7:30 tonight. I gotta come through and make sure you don't bash my dog. Appreciate it, Cortez. Or Corte, I'm sorry, Corte. I think Baltimore Mike, I think Monk is gonna use the backs. I think he's gonna use the backs. He's gonna use JK, and I think Justice will benefit from this too. I think Justice will benefit from what he does with his backs too. I don't know how much Gus will do it. I don't know how well Gus. I know Gus can catch, but I don't know how well he catches out of the backfield. But I know Justice can catch out of the backfield. We know Dobbins can do everything. So, and I'm excited to see Dobbins with his full mobility and that newly found great vision. That, well, I ain't gonna say newly found because he ran like a mug at Ohio State too, but he came back, and because he was slower, his vision was stupid dumb. So, I appreciate y'all again, man. Like, comment, subscribe. You could have been anywhere in the world, but you chose to be here with me for about 31 minutes, man. I appreciate it. Jasper, I hit you right before I go. How many more pass attempts would you expect per game with Monken? Depends on the situation. Obviously, if we're losing, that'll be a lot more. But if we're controlling the game, I think you can expect to see like 60-40 instead of like 60-40 run pass. And if we losing, it'll probably be, probably 80-ish pass. But if we controlling the game and doing what we supposed to be doing, and like, getting first downs, I can see 60-40, maybe even 55-45, just because I feel like you need to have passes in there to control the clock and to keep people out the box. And like I said earlier in the week, your passes don't have to be downfield. They could be quick game stuff. It could be hitches. It could be slants. It could be snag concept. It could be stick concept. It could be mesh. Those are extensions of the run game, but they just count as a pass stat. And that's the way I feel about it. So, glad I cut it off. Battery died. I appreciate y'all, man. I'll get with you soon. Peace. Go check out Brandon Bazell at 7:30 tonight. Hanging with Hendo tomorrow at 9-ish. And then I'm live all next week. Multiple times. We got the Avengers coming up Thursday and Friday. We got the Avengers together. Peace, y'all.